Hi everyone! As I was explaining in the last video, I've been very busy since Beltane and I now have many amazing things to share. One of them happened in Wales last May. I went away for a holiday that was mostly spent walking along the beautiful coast, gathering stones and trying to identify all the lovely flowers that were in bloom on the hills and the rocks. I went to a place called South Stack, famous for its lighthouse and for its RSPB observatory that attracts many birdwatchers. South Stack is also where grows a flower that can be found nowhere else in the world, the spatulic fleawort, also called South Stack fleawort, which is quite self-explanatory. There are other fleaworts, but not that particular species that is endemic to that place. I find that absolutely fascinating. And I went to South Stack with the desire and the plan to find that special flower to see it, because I wouldn't see it anywhere else. It felt like I had to. So I set on a quest determined to find it. I asked someone at the RSPB Center that advised on where it grows, but when I reached the area, it was nowhere to be seen. I looked and looked for a while, covering even a wider area, scrutinizing every single yellow flower that caught my eye, but I didn't find that special flower. The person I was with suggested that perhaps it wasn't out yet, and I thought to myself, well, it clearly doesn't want me to find it. I was a bit disappointed, I have to say, and when I went back to the RSPB Center, I couldn't help but ask someone else about it. And that person this time took me to the edge of a cliff, and after looking through their binoculars, they pointed at a very tiny yellow spot down the edge of the cliff facing the sea, telling me that's one. That's the spatulic fleawort. So, well, there it was. Although I could hardly make out what it looked like, I felt a bit comforted by the idea that I had kind of seen it. I had to mostly imagine it. But my curious mind wasn't entirely satisfied, as obviously I would have liked to see it from up close. But, I had to just be content with that. And we had to go. We had a long walk to the place where we were staying ahead of us. And as we were preparing to set off, we stopped to look at a map of the coast to double check the path to follow. And as we were looking at it, a man walked past us and asked if we were okay. So we asked him about the path, and he said that the first part was mainly road, so it was really boring, and that the coastal path only started a bit later on, and he could drop us off because he was driving down that way. What an amazing synchronicity! We had lingered in South Stack because of my quest to find the flower. We had wandered around, we hadn't been in a rush at all, and it's so incredible when a particular encounter or situation happens that is just perfect synchronicity. And it's basically like everything you've done that day up to that particular moment was leading up to it, to this point, to have you be at that particular time, in that particular place, to meet that particular person that would benefit you in some way on your journey. A few minutes earlier, a few minutes later, and it wouldn't have happened. It made me feel awe and gratitude even now, like telling you the story makes me feel incredible. But the story doesn't stop there, actually. So we got a lift, which saved us quite some time, and we set off on the path, light and happy about what had just happened. We were still a bit slightly in shock about that amazing synchronicity. And there we came across two paths. One was going towards the cliffs, and the other was carrying along a meadow. And I felt like going towards the cliffs, so went that way. And as we were walking, I spotted a yellow dot ahead of me. And I thought, could that be it? And even before I looked, I knew it was the spatulic fleawort. And the whole cliff was covered by them. It was the place to see them. Like, it was amazing. It was a truly magical way to meet that flower. It's like everything had been building up to this moment, to this very discovery, and I felt like I had found a treasure. It's like the flowers themselves had been guiding me to them. I was amazed. I felt almost overwhelmed by the beauty of it all, by the gift that life had just given me, like the beauty of what had happened. Like, life can be so magical. The way things work out sometimes are just so perfect. So it was an incredible moment. and a true reminder of always trusting and following your intuition, because you never know where that might lead you. Something amazing might be about to happen if you do. And it's also a reminder that sometimes you just have to let something go, to stop trying so hard in order to let it come to you, in order to let it happen in its own perfect time. I had tried so hard to find that flower, I had made a massive effort, and when I let it go, when I stopped trying to find it, it found me. So sometimes stop and let things find you. When you let it go, sometimes that's when amazing things happen. Thank you for listening.